As the PTU has now moved into the public test phases, it's time to start breaking down some of the new features in the upcoming 3.20 patch. And Salvage is getting another set of missions which I personally think are really good in that they incentivize scraping as opposed to just looting the cargo and moving on to the next ship. So if you're keen to learn more about this feature, grab a cup of tea while I roll the intro, and then let's get into it. Hello and welcome back, or welcome to the channel. I'm Loudguns, and today we're going to be looking at the new cleanup mission type. A few standard disclaimers that we've learned about the hard way in the past. Everything we're showing in this video is from the recently released PTU build for 3.20, so it's by no means final, and it may see some changes before a PU release. I'm going to advocate in this video that payouts from these missions are actually really well balanced, but there's always a chance that they get toned down a bit before the patch goes live. You'll find the new cleanup missions in the personal salvage area of your contract manager. They're issued by the Tar Pits faction, the same who sell you the risky salvage job info. However, in this instance they're going to be offering you a cash reward to strip the hull of a ship within a time limit, so that security can't identify the original owners. From the livery of what we've seen, these all seem to be Ninetails vessels. There might be further missions to unlock with reputation, I'm not sure at this stage since we were just hammering these last night, but for now we tend to get two on offer. One for a medium-sized ship like a Drake Cutlass or an RSI Connie, and these are going to pay 80,000 AUEC, and another one for a large ship like a Caterpillar or a Hammerhead, which are going to pay 250,000 AUEC. All of the missions occur around Crusader's Moon Yella, so with the time limit in mind, I would recommend doing all of your prep work, getting your crew together, and travelling over to Yella itself before you hit accept. So Noizemaze, Kanfoud and myself crewed up the Reclaimer and started things off pretty easy with a Drake Cutty Black mission. We've got a time limit of 1 hour to get the job done, and the bar at the top of the screen gives us an indication of progress. One slightly annoying thing is that when you're in the turrets of the Reclaimer, you lose sight of the progress bar, so the crewmate working the cargo room or piloting if you've got the luxury of a fourth person has to keep an eye and update you on how you're getting on. One of the things that we've realised is that you really do have to be detailed with these missions. They aren't kidding in the description when they say you need to get every speck of paint. We found it useful to go piece by piece and keep an eye on the percentage to make sure we'd covered it all. I'm also thinking that I'd probably recommend sacrificing a little bit of efficiency and use the larger trawler module to maximise the surface area we're scraping, as opposed to maxing the RMC we gather by using the smaller abrade module. But if you work your way systematically through each piece, side by side, you can make pretty short work of one of these missions in the Reclaimer. This Cutty Black took us 11.5 minutes to complete, netting us the 80k payout, and we got the added bonus of 7 boxes of RMC, worth an additional 52.5k. So our total take was 132.5k. We did check on all of the contracts we took from this tree, and there weren't any cargo boxes on any of them, so no bonuses there unfortunately. Still, assuming we could keep this going, our crew should be able to put 5 of these missions to bed an hour. And if we do similarly on all of them, then that would be around 660k or 220k per hour per head. So with that little success under our belts, we decided to go bigger. We did try one of the great Caterpillar jobs, but this ship specifically seems to be encountering a bug where the hull isn't properly scrapable. That said, this is what PTUs are about, so we've added our reports to the IC report already raised for it. And if you happen to be trying this out in PTU as well and can confirm so it gets the 10 reproductions required, that'd be awesome. I'll include a link down in the video description. But good news is that the 250k Hammerhead mission was working, so we took one of those instead. And this is where we learned really how meticulous you need to be. We did manage to complete this, but it took us the full hour. You have to be really careful to ensure you get every single nook and cranny of these ships to ensure you don't skip anything. In fairness though, we pulled 56 SEU of RMC off the Hammerhead, so along with the 250k mission payout, we made 670k between the three of us in an hour, so very similar to how we would have done with multiple smaller ships. But where this really interests me is that I think we can vastly improve on our first test run. While salvage gameplay is generally speaking very simple at the surface, there's undoubtedly scope to separate a well-drilled, experienced crew from a novice one. And here, with the timer running, I think you can look to learn each target ship, finesse your angles, and develop a clear pattern and process for ensuring 100% completion, just that much quicker than we managed on our first outing. And one thing I think we could do to enhance our setup is to maybe have a fourth person in a Vulture, just working alongside the Reclaimer. The Vulture could focus on the harder to reach areas, while the Reclaimer can clear the larger surfaces quickly. Speaking of the Vulture, I also took a quick run at doing one of the 80k missions myself, and here it really shines. Solo it took me a little over 25 minutes to strip back a Connie, and walking away with that payout along with 6 boxes of RMC was kind of perfect. Assuming that I could do 2 of these missions and a quick hop to Horizon to sell the full grid of RMC, we're looking at 250k an hour solo. This is particularly cool now that the Vulture is making its way into the New Deal ship shop in-game. Now I know I've said it already, but I've been burned before, so quick reminder that things in PTU can change. But the Vulture's price at 1,264,000 credits was a pleasant surprise to me. I was expecting it to be cheaper than the Mist Prospector, which will set you back 2.1 million credits, but I was thinking more in the lines of 1.7 to 1.8 million. But it looks like getting into the salvage game is going to be very doable with in-game cash. Always do remember that if you're just getting into SC, you don't need to break the bank. You just need a $45 starter pack, and the rest you can earn in-game. So if you are thinking about taking the plunge with 320, just make sure to use someone's referral code for some extra starter cash. Mine's the one up on screen, but use a friend's if you've got any who play already. So I hope this was an interesting first look at these new missions. Since we saw we were getting these ones, I decided to hold off publishing a full salvage guide, but now they're in, I'll be starting work on that one shortly to add to the set. So if you enjoy a bit of leisurely hull scraping, just be sure to subscribe so you can catch that. And if you're keen to try out any of the multi-crew gameplay, like with the Reclaimer, then please feel free to swing by our community Discord, where you'll find folks happy to have you along. Compared to some of the other game loops in SC, salvaging's really quite relaxed. That can actually provide a great social opportunity, just hanging out with mates, having a chat while you churn out some credits. But with all that said, thank you very much for watching all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you next time.